I know that they don't get proper education anywhere else. It's very unfortunate. It should not be like this. But they're not getting good education in school. They're not getting good education outside, and so a lot of kids are suffering, right, from this. And the confidence, if they lose confidence in life, they can never get it again after that.
Welcome to Voices Unheard, Teaching Beyond the Test. We are your hosts, Medha,
Abhi,
and Shloka.
you're listening to Voices Unheard. We're 7 high school students who share the stories that deserve to be heard.
Today we have with us someone really special, someone who's made a huge impact on students all across North Texas. He's known for not just helping high schoolers master the SAT, but for teaching lessons that go way beyond the test itself.
From discipline to mindset to real-world growth, he's the kind of teacher who shapes students into stronger, more confident people.
Please welcome the one and only Jayanta, an amazing educator, mentor, and essay teacher who truly teaches beyond the test. Hi, Jayanta. Welcome for our podcast for today. So our first question will be, can you tell me a little about yourself and your journey?
So first of all, thank you for this. This is very interesting. This is my first experience of a podcast. So what about my journey, right? So I came here first of all as a student way back in 1990, and I did my masters. I did my PhD. I was a good student. I did my MBA. I did all of that. I worked in at Ford, an automotive company.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in treasury departments. I worked in corporate finance departments. I worked also in an R&D place. I worked in private equity. I worked in securitizations. So you can see, I was after a lot of experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know at that time all those experiences are eventually going to help me come to this point where I'll be helping kids like you. Okay, so my journey has been through a lot of different twists and turns, right? And this is a place which I've found now where I really, really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And they call it something called as like a calling. I don't know if you have heard about that, but it's above passion. It's when you realize you're born for this. This is your duty. This is a job that you're born for. So that is my realization, right? And that's why I'm doing it.
So building on that, you came here as a student yourself. What did you come here to study? Were you studying engineering, business? Did you have a specific target you were trying to study for?
That's a very interesting question. So in India, I did my engineering, right? And so naturally, to come here, you need scholarship. And to get scholarship, it has to be in an area which you have done your bachelor's at, right? So I came here in material science engineering, which was closely connected to mechanical engineering, which is what I did in India. And so fortunately, I was able to get the scholarship, and then I came here for masters. Then I continued for my PhD, and after 6.5 years, I graduated. Then I got a job in an R&D in a steel industry. That was my first job. Then I did my master's, my MBA at University of Michigan, and then I moved from engineering to finance. Yeah.
So you had talked about before how teaching was your calling, but what truly inspired you to become a teacher? You talked about how you put in a lot of work to come here under scholarship to learn about engineering. So what truly inspired you to take a shift from that career to now being a teacher?
Yeah, it's a very, very good question. So, as you know, I'm 96 years old. I'm not 96. I'm getting there. But I have 2 boys. Okay. So throughout my life, my first student was my brother. Then I came here as a student. I was a teaching assistant for 7 years. So I taught a lot of students at UPIT. I was at UPIT. And then in my jobs, I taught a lot of people. Then I got married. I taught my wife. Then I had 2 boys. I taught them. So when my elder son was about ninth grader or 10th grader, I realized that I need to start thinking about other kids, not just my kids. Right? And I started with 5 kids in my community. And I thought, I'm just going to train these 5 kids, put them on a path, then I will start with another 5 kids. And I put flyers in my community and I got the first 5 kids. And then after that, I don't have a website, I don't want to advertise, I don't advertise. Everything is word of mouth. And my family has grown now quite a lot. So, I've got from grade 3 kids to 12th graders as my students. I'm doing this for 9 years now. And it's grown quite big now. But I would never thought that it will be this big when I started. Yeah.
So when you came to the US, you were a first generation immigrant. You were the first one to come from your family, and like you said, you were a meritorious student, right? So even though you were doing, like, you were really good with your education in India, something in you told you that I have to go to the US, right?
So very, very good question,
So
Shloka.
what, like, influenced you to come here?
Yeah. No, very, very good question. So when I was in engineering, I used to fight with other students that why are you going to US? And so as a protest, I said I'm not going to study for GRE and I will be in my country and I will serve my country because my country also paid for my education. And so I did not, a lot of my friends came to US. I was like, okay, fine. So I got a job there in one of, the company's name is, because I was in mechanical engineering, so the company where most of us would get job was Mahindra and Mahindra. They work with Ford here actually. And in my 6 months, I realized that after 10 years, I'm going to move from this desk to that desk. After 10 years, I'm going to move from that desk to a little bit bigger size place. And in 20, 30 years, where I will be is going from one corner of that room to the other corner of that room. And is this, like my life came in front of me, is this what I'm going to be? Life was different in 1990s. It was not like what we see today.
Definitely.
And so I got scared. And when I got scared, immediately I started to study for GRE. And then after that, within 3 months after that, I was here.
So when you first came to the US, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced when you first moved here to teach?
That's a very interesting question, Meda. I'll tell you one. So when I first came here, I came to Pittsburgh, which is a very cold place. And I came in fall. It was quite cold for me. I was very hungry the first day. And you have to understand that back in those days, we did not have McDonald's and Burger King in India. So I did not even know their names. So the first day I came out, I was in the hotel and I was like not sure what to do. So I had an orientation. So I found, like on the street, I was so hungry, I was like, what do I do now? I found an Indian person and I said, I'm hungry. I've got $20. Can you tell me a place where I can eat some food within $20? And I can eat chicken, by the way. So he said, oh, okay. Here there is a place called Burger King. Why don't you go? So I go inside Burger King. And I said, I want chicken sandwich. And then she said after that something which I did not understand because of the accent. And I replied no, because that was a safe answer.
Yeah.
And then after she gave me the chicken sandwich, I moved, I paid. And then I asked them, can I have water? I said, what can I have? because I said in an Indian accent, can I have water? And she said, honey, I asked you earlier. So when I said no, so accent issues, I faced a lot of accent issues. I remember particularly one incident, one of my students, so I was teaching lab actually. One of my students, he could not understand what I was saying when I was saying elevator. And I would say something like elevator or some, I don't know what I was saying. So yeah, there are a lot of accent issues like that. I faced those issues. Cold, I hated cold. I moved to Texas in 2015. So 25 years I've suffered cold.
Oh.
From 1990 to 2015.
Moving to Texas was probably the
Yeah.
best decision
Yes.
you made.
It's so
That's
hot
the
in
best decision.
Texas.
Yes. So maybe I answered more than what you asked.
So now we definitely talked about some of the challenges. You mentioned your like the accent issues and how weather and just like trying to like survive when you just came here, because obviously India's environment and surroundings is very different from here. But now more into your teaching side, what do you love most about teaching? What made you realize it was your calling that makes you want to come here every day and just teach students?
Yeah. What I love most about teaching is when someone reaches me out 4 years after I've taught them, and then they write a text or a letter to me or email, and they say that, Uncle, I now understand what you have taught us. Because now I can take any subject and I can learn it the way you taught us. And I'm not afraid anymore. And that confidence, which, it's not like everybody says that, of course, right? So some students who have really struggled, when they say that, it's a lot of value to me. I'll give you an example in my SAT class, because you folks are in my SAT class. So last year, there was a student, he would talk a lot in class. He would ask questions. He would ask like really, really questions which he should have learned in middle school. And he kept asking, I kept answering, because I know it was benefiting kids who were shy in the class. And then that same kid, 1 year later, is so transformed. Like when I see the same kid today, I'm like, he understands a lot of the nuances of SAT. In his first attempt, he crossed 1460. And if I had to guess what score he would get, I would have said he would not even cross 1200.
Oh.
Wow.
So, see that is why, right? There's a lot of power to all this, right? Because it's changing someone's life. Because I know that they don't get proper education anywhere else. It's very unfortunate. It should not be like this. But they're not getting good education in school, they're not getting good education outside. And so a lot of kids are suffering, right, from this. And the confidence, if they lose confidence in life, they can never get it again after that. All those future career aspirations you have, they all depend on confidence, how you can boost your confidence. So what I'm trying to tell you is that is really what inspires me when I see that.
So you mentioned how much you love teaching, how much you love showing up and then supporting all of these students, correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you also talked about all the challenges that you faced about like moving here. So what were unexpected challenges that you saw in your teaching journey?
Well, so something that bothers me with students is, I would not compare it that way, but see, when I was growing up as a kid or like teenager or whatever, or high schooler, I was always hungry for education, but I never found a person who could take me under his wing or her wing. I would not say like, okay, I had maybe one student, one teacher for like a year or so. If I, other than him, I was always looking for someone to guide me, someone to tell me the truth. Even if that person tells me you're really struggling or you need to work hard or something, I wanted a teacher to tell me that because I wanted to learn and I did not get it. When I come here and I see a lot of students and I'm trying to be that person in their life, what I did not get. But then when I don't see those students understand the value of that and they're not putting effort in it, that is something which, something bothers me, is that you have not realized yet that this is important to you. It's not important to your parents, it's not important to anybody else but you, right? But yeah, that is something I would say is something which affects me more.
Now, among the three of us, we come to your class 2 times a week, and you usually start off your class with a little story about your past students. And on behalf of the three of us, I can truly say they truly inspire us. They want to continue and just to achieve more with the SAT. So, would you care to share a success story from one of your previous students?
So one story which I said earlier, this is from last year. See what's happening is I get a lot of kids who score very high on the SAT, like 15, 80 or whatever, right? That does not give me too much satisfaction. Or what really truly I get it is when I see that a student, like as I mentioned, someone I think will not even cross 1200, and then in the very first attempt crosses 1460, and then booms with confidence when he answers, because he's still here, he's not in your batch, but he still wants to cross 15, and I tell him that the way he's going, he will easily get that. But there are nuances. See, getting a 1500 plus is not easy in SAT. You have to put a lot of effort. For him, he has achieved way more than what I thought he could. So yeah, I would say that, that those stories, and I have got many stories. I like where something I thought would not work well and then they did well. Many stories, I would say. Yeah.
So, adding on from all of what you have mentioned so far, there's obviously some things that make you really happy to be here, some things that motivate you, some things that make you cry with your students, and you've done a lot of work to get from the stage that you have from 1996, from India, writing the GRE, to 2025.
1990 to 2025.
1990 to 2025.
35 years.
35 years of in the US.
Yeah.
And now you are a renowned SAT teacher without all this advertising.
I did not know I was renowned, by the way. I did not know that people know me as J Uncle.
Our whole school knows who you are.
So what is interesting is this is a couple of years back, one Kopel teacher reached out to me.
Oh.
And she said, what are you doing that is different? Because we would like you to come and teach a course in Kopel. Unfortunately, my problem is time. Where do I find time?
Yeah.
And really, having gone through the organizational kind of issues that you can face, I love what I'm doing. I'm free.
Yeah.
I love to teach. I like kids who, when they work hard. I love kids when they ask me questions. If they ask me questions at 1 o'clock at night or 2 o'clock at night when I am asleep, next morning when I see my phone, I'm get very happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say.
So you mentioned a little previously toward the beginning about how some students are not getting proper education in schools and
Yeah.
elsewhere, and it's like your calling, your duty to help them receive that education, right? What is something you do differently from the school system that you feel like the teacher was asking?
So
that
that's a
helps students?
very good question. So see, my approach is slightly different from everybody else's approach. For example, when you are in school, right? What's the method they teach? The method is, I'll teach you a concept, and I'll give you 20 problems on it, and then you just repeat that concept, and then you understand the concept. Then you go to concept 2, you do the same thing. You go to concept 3, you do the same thing. After I teach you 10 concepts, let's say in school, when you ask a student question on concept 1, what would the students reply? I did it 4 months back. I don't know what it was. So all of that previous knowledge is gone, right? So that's not how you should teach kids. You need to teach kids in such a way that they're always confident, no matter what question you ask me. So the way I'm not talking about SAT now, I'm talking about more other like math subjects or let's say
In
reading,
general.
right?
Mhm.
So I throw them in a swimming pool when they don't know how to swim. So I will throw them with 10 concepts in a day, and not one concept, 10 concepts. And so the head rolls. Well, the next week when they come, I give another 10 head rolls further. They start to get scared. And that's scary, that's that feeling of being scary, that actually is good. Because, see, as humans, you always want to accomplish over a challenge, right? So initially, to have a challenge is a good thing.
Mhm.
So later on, as time goes on, when they start those 10 concepts, so after maybe 4th or 5th week, when I'm throwing 10 concepts at them, they're able to get 6 or 7. And then they get that confidence, like, oh, I did not know these things. I was miserable all this time, right? So what you have done is now you have changed the way of the thought process, that we can do multiple different things and we can handle complexity. And that once you build that confidence, it's a lot of this stuff is in the head, right? See, 2 things I would say important for you guys, like for you folks, like SAT, right? One is genuine hard work. Working at something again and again, right? Genuinely putting that effort. And then the other thing is that mental kind of confidence that I should be able to understand any question, anytime, not only when I've studied for it. And so that needs, in Indian philosophy, we say something called as Chintan and Manan. So Chintan is you're thinking about it, right? Chinta is like worry.
Mhm.
So when you're doing Chintan, you're thinking about it. Manan is you're repeating it in your head. So when someone does, think about it and repeat it in their head, they're going to master it at some point. So anyway, some Eastern and some Western mix in
Yeah.
teaching. Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to students preparing for the SAT?
I would say enjoy learning. Like, you have to really not learn for the score,
Mhm.
but you have to chase that learning. Like, why is it this way? Like, if any question that you have, let's say you make a mistake on SAT question, okay? Some students will say, oh, I know the answer.
Mhm.
Okay, done. Let's move to the next one. Some students will say, well, wait a minute, why did I miss that? Right? And they will chase the wrong answers. Like, why is this wrong? Why is this wrong? So 3 answers are wrong, 1 is right. You chase why are the 3 answers wrong?
Mhm.
And you go until the depth, until you are 100% sure why they are wrong. And you will start to see, you will have to do less practice, like one of the approaches we follow in our class for reading. I don't believe in practice. It's no matter how much practice you do in reading, it's not going to help you because the words will be different on that test. But if you understand the concept and you chase that learning, you will be able to do a lot of things in less time, right? So hopefully that's a good advice.
Yes.
Well, those were the questions that we had prepared for us today. But do you have anything you would like to add on, maybe some points that we didn't touch on that you think really you would like to shine a light on?
Yeah, so one thing I would definitely say that if you learn the right approach in learning a topic, right? And what is the right approach? As I was telling you earlier, is I'm not doing this for a grade. I'm doing this because I want to understand, right? See, when you know a truth, there's a lot of satisfaction. Like I found it, I understood it. I'll give you an example. So when you go home today, read about or watch a YouTube video on double slit experiment. Have you guys heard about that?
No.
Okay. We will talk about this maybe later. I want you to watch video on double slit experiment. When you understand those kind of things, you will enjoy learning. Right? It's nothing to do with SAT, by the way. But I'm saying. So chase learning, chase truth. Learn something because you want to know what the real thing is, and you have this approach in any subject. In future, you will do well. And the second thing I will say is there are no shortcuts in life. If you want to achieve success, you have to put the time and the effort, because you have to do it alone, right? And of course you'll get help from teachers and all, but you still have to learn things on your own. So putting effort, chasing the right things for knowledge. You go on that path, your life is going to be beautiful.
Well, that wraps up today's episode. You didn't hear it from us, you heard it from one of the best SAT
I don't know about
educators
that one.
in all of North Texas, that chasing learning can lead to good learning, and following the right approach can lead to living a beautiful life and yearning for learning in general, correct?
We hope you continue to support us throughout the journey of uncovering many of the untold stories that we surround ourselves with.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode, Teaching Me on the Test.
And that's a wrap. Thank you. You want to say bye, Jayanta?
Bye. It was fun. I loved it.
Thank you.
Bye everyone.